This is the instructional how-to video for the KC Covair concession trailer. We're going to go over the operations, functions, and shutdown procedures of your brand new concession. Got everything done with testing. All of your exterior lights still on. Right now I'm running on my shore power, which you will see located here. Protected out of the weather right this second. This is your 100 amp panel, all 20 amp independent circuits. We have your other 100 amp panel with the two 30 amp circuits and power cord for that. Water heater's plugged in, ready to go. Before I ever plugged it in, I had continuous water flow. I'm bypassing the tank and pump and running on the pressurized water system. We have our battery charger for the 12 volt lighting system and our battery for the lighting system as well. Flip up counter, very simple, using the middle screw, pressing upward allows that to rotate down. Once you get to 90 degrees, pressing upward again allows that to latch into place. What you will look for is these pins that roll outward every time. There's one on the outside on the left side, the inside on the right side. Concession door is open with the adjustable, or not adjustable, but pressurized shocks. Roller wheels here at the back of the trailer to protect the back end, as well as the crank jacks. Crank jacks are 3/4 inch sockets with an impact gun for each one. We have our waste drain valve. This is a 3-inch RV waste valve itself. Remove the cap, hook up your hose, pull that gate valve, and all of your water will flow out. Once that's finished, shut the valve up, remove the hose, and put the cap back in place before transit. If you're going to use the crank jacks, I would highly recommend that you scotch or block the tires in such a manner on both sides that there is no movement. Once you lift the trailer up, if there is any movement, the momentum and weight of the trailer can fold those jacks, which they are not covered under any warranty for the jacks themselves. Got your glass door cooler sitting at 34 degrees. Interior and exterior light switch is located here. Stainless steel upper shelf. Pot filler or kettle pot filler. Equipment stand. Funnel cake fryers. Go ahead and show all the plugs working first. Test the GFI, reset that. Again, continuous water flow for the hot water heater out of all faucets before plugging in. Get my thermostat. Still going. Water pump switch located here. If you want to turn the AC unit on, as long as you have enough power, you can do so. Turning high, cool, cold side itself. This is your air in on each side, air out, front, rear. Grab my lighter. So for your funnel cake fryers, I'm going to go over how hose light. Got your rings located here. This door does stop right here, but you can pull this little lever, be able to remove that door on both sides for draining purposes. There's a drain tube that would go into here. As far as this button here is your pallet that you would lift up, and this can rotate around to turn off. I've got it to the on position. I'll go ahead and show the unit working, and I'll turn it back off and explain how it's lit. As you can see, the thermal pile lit. We'll turn that one back off, show this one working, and then turn it off as well and do the same thing. On button. So the pallets are off. So lighting instructions for the pallet, very simple. This button comes up, rotates around to where there's an indentation for that pallet button to press down flat. You have to press and hold here. You have to administer your fire to the thermal pile. What I found is the easiest way is going underneath, up through here, into lighting the pallet. It is kind of, I don't think I can do it while holding the camera. I can at least show where the flame goes. There we go. As you'll see there, once you have your pallet going, continue to hold this button in. As long as, well, so if you let it go too fast, it'll go out. So the method is hold this button in, light your pallet, continue to hold it for 30 seconds, letting that thermal pile get hot. Once it's hot, and you can release this button slowly. As long as it stays lit, you can go to the on position and then shut the lid after putting the desired temp that you want for the oil to be. Just make sure that you do turn this back to the off position for your pallet, and that's the same for both of these units. Trying to hold the camera with one hand, I do apologize. There we go. Again, it holds back in place. This one does fold all the way down. Make sure those are all in the off position each and every time before you leave to go in transit. Always drain the oil out of the vats as well before you go into transportation. Both rings, one for each funnel cake fryer, and the screens inside, as well as the paperwork for all the equipment, is in the glass door cooler. Take the time to read over to understand the maintenance procedures for your equipment. Fire suppression setup for these appliances. Now, these filters are removable. They will need to be cleaned periodically. After removing them and cleaning them, you need to keep a close gap. That way you do not have grease blow by going into the top extraction fan. I would set that up on quarterly visits at first for cleaning and maintaining the extraction fan. What grease does not collect in the filters goes to here, and there's a grease cup that hooks in the dowel pins that is behind this package here. Monitor that daily as well. Again, the filters are removable and will need to be cleaned with hot water and a mild soap or mild degreaser. Dawn soap works great. Make sure you thoroughly wash, rinse, and allow time to air dry. The system is live and ready to go and will need to be tagged and certified by a local fire suppression company as well as your fire marshal. Exhaust fan switch located there. Before you ever turn the propane on, always have the extraction fan on for any fumes if anything was to be left in the on position. Going over the gas, I'm going to turn off the system and explain the procedure for this. Your tank is going to be the same setup. This is your control on valve. This is your fill valve. Always have the tank strapped in place, pin and cage for proper transportation. So the most important thing on your initial startup is when you turn your valve, pressurizing the line itself, you're going to feed your pressure to this valve. Most important thing you can do at that point is pay attention to this regulator. If when you turn this valve a quarter turn straight on, if you hear any more than the line charge itself, you need to immediately shut this valve off. This line does run down below the trailer and hugs the frame, but road debris such as blocks of wood, rocks, even tires off of vehicles, if it is hit at any rate of speed, can damage and break the pipe, causing a gas leak under the trailer. And we all know that propane is highly explosive. Treat it like it is a bomb. So again, nothing more than the simple line charge, which is shh, and that's it. Once you hear that, you're ready to go. But if you hear any more than that, other than the line charge, if you have any gas coming through, never operate the trailer until somebody inspects it. Again, line charge, you're good. Continuous gas flow, shut it off. Have somebody come out and inspect the piping. Propane stays low, it would fill the cavity under the trailer, being very dangerous. This is your non-pressure side for the city water fill box. This is your tank and water pump. Is where you would fill here. Periodically use some bleach or sanitizer for cleaning that freshwater tank. Or if you have pressurized water, you can hook up your food grade water hose to this inlet here, bypassing the tank and pump, and you would have pressurized water. With the gas off, at this point, you can turn the extraction fan off. Make sure that everything's always road ready. If you have any items that are on the shelves or loose items that are on the tables, make sure they're put in a safe place before transit. Make sure you turn the fridge off, having the AC unit off, as well as make sure that you turn all of your light switches off. Likewise, once that is finished, again, shutting that off, removing the hose, and putting the cap back into place. If you did use your crank jacks, do make sure that you bring them to an upright position for transit. Make sure all doors are closed, as well as making sure that all of your blinkers, run lights, brake lights are always functioning. We always recommend that you check the air pressure in your tires, making sure you have adequate air pressure. Make sure that your lug nuts are always tight. Check them before every time in travel. Also, once a year, remove this rubber grease cap to apply grease to the Zert fitting behind that on each wheel to promote bearing life or long-lasting bearing life. Again, with your flip-up counter, pressing upward allows that to go back to a fixed position, and being able to shut, latch, and put a pin in each side of the concession window door. Last but not least, I want to show the plug out here working. And if your power cord is pulled outside through the cable hatches, make sure that you pull it back to the inside. That way it's safe for transit. Be able to close the doors. We thank you for taking the time to view this video. We make these videos to help show the customer their brand new concession before they get it delivered or pick it up, to also help them understand how to operate the equipment safely, most of all. If you do have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to reach out to us at any time. We'll be glad to assist in any way. Thank you so much for your business and wish you the very best.